Hello, hello! Name's Annan. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today, yet again, I got another build that I assembled specifically for the purpose of playing Boss Rush. And I fell in love with this. I love this build. I've been playing it forever at this point. I love it. I play it in multiplayer as well. I don't typically play it a lot in PvP, for example. I don't play it in Boss Rush all that much anymore, but just generally in the Chaos Trials. I think this is hella fun, and I'd just love to present it to someone. And that's gonna be you. Today's build is called the Houdini, which is a reference, an obvious reference to anyone over the age of, what, like 10 at this point? The Houdini, a great real-life magician, very renowned, very well-known. This is a magician type of build. We are cosplaying not as a wizard, no, as a magician instead, as a real-life, slightly a lot less exciting magician. A wizard, if you will, without actual wizardry powers. And that's really all that this is about. So I'd say let's get right into it. For our robe, we will be using the adventure robe because of style. It's the most stylish robe in the game. You won't change my mind on that. It's great. It looks rather dark. It fits perfectly with the starting relic, as you might be able to tell. I wouldn't say perfectly, but as good as any of these robes can fit it. I was considering picking up the shadow robe for this, but it just looks kind of odd doing that. So instead, we're gonna be using the venture robe, as the color just fits perfectly. I love the eye color as well, love the build. It's nice, for as long as you can't get the certain other outfit hidden in this build. The Venture Robe will do. Also, what it does is it decreases your max health by 40% from 500 all the way down to 300 max HP, which we don't care about at all, to be frank. This is not a low power build where you struggle to survive. No, not at all. Not at all. Mark my words, we're going to be able to easily crush our foes, and therefore the 200 HP makes virtually no difference. It also increases both our damage, run speed, and cooldown reduction by 10% each, which is fantastic. Huge DPS increase, not only reducing our cooldowns, allowing for us to deal more damage a lot more frequently, but also straight up increasing our base damage by 10%, which is awesome. You'll have to see it. Run speed, as per usual, or as mostly with most builds, is a completely worthless stat that we really don't care for at all. I mean, it's nice to have, but like, it's just an added tiny bonus on top. But instead, cooldown reduction, mwah, we love it. We want it, absolutely. If you don't run Venture Rope, instead, I strongly recommend you pick up another rope that grants a bunch of cooldown reduction, and maybe something like extra crit chance, extra signature charge generator, something like that. Something very offensive is what you would probably want to build with this build. For our starting relic, we only have one logical choice, being called the Houdini, which, to my embarrassment, I don't even recall where I can find this. I believe this is in the offense category. It is indeed. It's on the first page. It is, of course, the Magician's Top Hat. It's a chance to enhance any Arcana used and lower its cooldown required for the Magician's outfit, which we are gonna strive to find over the course of our run. The Magician's outfit, in case you didn't know, combines this item along with a cursed Magician's wand to essentially negate the downside, the massive downside of picking up a Magician's wand, which would essentially it'd be an incredible increase on the downtime in between using abilities. It slows you down massively. You can't chain abilities at that point, pretty much forever, as long as you don't get a silver spinning top or you get the Magician's outfit to negate that effect. It's one of the worst effects in the entirety of this game, and I hate picking it up. When I have a very bad run and I really need extra damage, I will pick up Magician's Wand for the 20% extra damage, but only then I will even consider picking it up, because that item is just such a run Dampener. You can go from 100 to 0, quite frankly. You can die just by picking this up and then being unable to use your evasion abilities, for example. But I digress. We are going to be trying to find that item in order to combine these two to the Magician's outfit, which also changes our appearance greatly, in fact. We then not only look like a homeless kind of British late 16s gangster or something. I don't know what we're looking like. I don't freaking know. But instead, we're going to be actually looking like a magician. And we're going to go for that proper attire. Hopefully. You can't always find it, but I'm really hoping that we will end up finding it today. Instead, for now, we're going to be using the Magician's Top Hat, which adds a chance to enhance any Arcana used and lower its cooldown by 16% each. I suppose. I don't know. Is the chance 16%? Is the cooldown reduction 16%? Are both? Are neither? Who knows? But it's a great item. We can bounce it on the top of our head, and it's a hat. It's a hat. So that's the perfect item to do it with. Looks great, doesn't it? We can use it as a way to applaud. Sorry, not to applaud. To bow down in front of our audience, for example. Which is great. Love to see it. Very much on flavor. Also, why are we using this? There's an additional reason, because I always wanted to make a build around it. I love this item, it's fantastic. It's a bit of a rogue item. You wouldn't expect this to be nearly as good as it actually is. It's fantastic. First of all, it allows you, it enables you to, in your average run, pick up a Magician's Wand, which is just such a terrible item, but it's a very good damage increase if you already have a Magician's Top Hat. Otherwise, again, total run demolisher, but that's not the point. This enables you to do a plethora of things. It also enhances your abilities semi-randomly, which can be fantastic to your build. We don't care much about that. And lowers their cooldown, more importantly, because that is always applicable. Even if an ability is already enhanced, this should, in theory at least, be applicable. I'm not sure whether or not it actually is. I don't care much about that. What I care about with this build is style and flavor, and that's all this is going to be about. In your average build, again, Magician's Top Hat is a very great enhancement. If you already have an ability that deals very good damage and you use it as a standard, for example, that standard, of course, being a standard, is not enhanced, unlike a signature right at the get-go, and the Magician's just gives you the edge on extra damage and cooldown reduction. It's essentially like the Venture Robe. It provides both of those stats. And it's kind of hard to argue with that. It's not very consistent in what it does, but does it have to be? The Nocturnal Sundial, for example, isn't consistent in giving you 100% cooldown reduction on an ability either, but when it actually does proc, and when it ends up procking multiple times consecutively, it suddenly becomes one of the strongest items in the entirety of the game, because the potential is nuts. It is through the roof. It's quite frankly topless. But enough rambling. We're going to be moving on from this point going forward. We don't care much about the properties the Magician's Top Hat provides. Instead, it's all about style. Just a quick recap here. And with that having been established, let's move on to the abilities. For our basic, of course, we're going to be using the Bouncing Blaze, which is essentially a fireball cast from the Magician forward. It's like a real-life magician doing some kind of fire magic with fireworks, for example. Tiny fireworks hidden in their robe or something. And I love it for that. Flavor-wise, style-wise, usage-wise even, this is fantastic. I love this. It's such a fun Arcana. It's very long-range projectile basic Arcana. Single target hit, no matter how you use it, you can only ever hit one target with it. However, when you get this enhanced, it will pierce an infinite amount of enemies, which is fantastic. You can easily crowd control with the upgraded version, and since this is going to be the only Arcana that we can upgrade in this build right off the get-go, again, it can benefit massively from your starting Relic, but also we can just simply upgrade it. It's the only viable Arcana to be upgraded, so finding it in a run is not exactly a necessity. It's just going to happen. It's pretty much guaranteed at this point, considering how many irises you're gonna be seeing over the course of one average run. So, Bouncing Blaze, very, very fun. Let's take a look at it. It's also bouncing, that means it can bounce across pits. Again, it only ever hits one target, no matter how large this area of effect might seem. It's in fact a single hit. You have to tap it so you can hold it, but I think that's very much on flavor. It feels like I have to work for this fireball. I can toss this out occasionally. Again, it's like a firework in real life. I think this is fantastic. I absolutely love this, and I would absolutely pick this. If I were a wizard cosplaying as a magician, I feel like, yeah, this is perfect. 100% on par with the theme. For our dash, we're going to be going with something a little spicy, I'd say, being the Phantom Order Chaos dash, one that you pretty much never ever see me using because it's dark water. It's pretty damn bad. However, this being a Chaos Arcana, it has a large projectile destruction capability, which you can definitely capitalize on. We're not going to be doing that, it's just for style. So you dash forward, you leave behind 2 mages of the Chaos Trials, which cast a bunch of fireballs in the direction you dashed into, like so. And these fireballs, or rather chaos balls, do end up destroying projectiles. They cover a fairly large area. They don't deal the greatest amount of damage, but oh yeah, you can hear that. The little, tiny little ding, massively reducing your cooldown from the Magician's top hand. You love to see it. You love to hear it. Mwah! It's just fantastic. It's great. Let's try and block it again. It's not coming up. Come on, we can do it. Yep. There it is. That looked like about a 50% cooldown reduction, but I don't really care much about the stats. It just feels great. I'm not a number person. I try things out and I see how well they work, and I feel like this is something that works consistently very damn well, even with already enhanced Arcana, so I think it's just great. I think it's lovely. Now, what does this exactly do for us? It looks stylish as hell. They cast literal magic, like your Bouncing Blaze, essentially, but they're equivalent. They destroy projectiles for you. They have a large coverage. It offers plenty of crowd control, even though it's just for a rather short period of time. It knocks enemies back, which can be great, though it knocks them into you because it knocks them towards the direction you're dashing into, but nonetheless, I feel like this is quite a fair, quite reasonable, decent Arcana. Damage-wise, it's pretty poor, but other than that, it ticks pretty much all the boxes, right? A little bit of evasion, a lot of style, and a little bit of damage and versatility. It's great. Moving on to our standard, yet another spicy pick, if I do say so myself. It's the Chaos Phantom Guild. This is the equivalent to our dash, but we are gonna be summoning a bunch of summoners, who in turn summon summons to attack enemies, like so. Again, damage-wise, very underwhelming. These things essentially have the Wizard of Legend equivalent to aimbot, though. They cannot miss. They can't. Pretty much never will they ever be able to miss. These things are super fast. They do somewhat decently well crowd control enemies. They can hit a large variety of enemies, which is very helpful. They can't be destroyed, I believe. I don't think they count as active summons like an agent would, for example. So if the summon of one of these phantom summoners were to fly at an enemy currently in the middle of an attack animation, that thing probably would die. I would assume so. Anyway, they don't appear to have a health bar. I've never really seen them take any damage. Never really paid much attention, though, to be fair. So I might be wrong on that, but I'm relatively sure that I'm correct on that. So why are we using that? Again, for style. It's summon us. They summon minions. They look hella cool. They look like spellcasters. They look... They fulfill a certain purpose, and that is not exactly stun-locking enemies, or dealing a great damage, or having great crowd control, providing any of those things. No, instead, again, it's for style, obvious reason, duh, but also misdirection, which is quite important in Magic. If I do say so myself, if you know Penn and Teller, you know what I'm talking about. Misdirection is everything in Magic. Misdirecting someone to just completely pay attention to something that isn't part of your magic trick. Or, well, that's very bad wording, actually. You want people to look into certain spots where they can see you doing other things. That's how modern day Magic works. It's a lot of misdirection and very quick, skillful action handling, so to speak. And these are perfect at misdirecting our opponents, just pushing them all over the place, just leaving a bunch of chaos behind for us to thrive in. Thematically, I think this is on par. In-game, this is not super useful, super strong. It's okay into single targets. It's nothing wild, really. It doesn't last nearly long enough. If this were to last longer, it'd be great. Now, another downside to both of these is that they don't count as projectile nor melee, so you can enhance the damage easily. However, the dash, at least, as any dash word, counts as movement, as mobility, so you can enhance it using soccer cleats, for example, or that one cursed boot item, which is also very nice with this build because it allows for us to spam our dash, which is cool. That's so cool. Dashing around the place, having fireballs, go everywhere, destroy everything. It's cool. It's very cool. You absolutely love doing that, but we'll get into the item section soon here. Yeah, that's Phantom Guild. Not much else to be said about that. Both of these Arcana are Chaos Arcana and therefore are always enhanced. Can't be unenhanced, can't be enhanced. Are always enhanced, period. And then finally, on our list, we got our signature, the fantastic, gorgeous looking Heroic Blaze that I've already used last week. Yes, I know, but I love this Arcana and I made both of these builds at around the same time. And so, yeah, Heroic Blaze was just the right pick for both of them, I felt. This is a jump. An in-place jump. You can't move while using this. You have to stand still. It has a fairly low range. It casts an AoE around you. It drags enemies in, and you jump into the air and deal a bunch of damage to them, also burning them in the process because this is your signature and it's enhanced, and the enhancement deals more damage and burns enemies. Yada yada yada. This is an in-place jump like so, and it's so stylish. Just look at that character animation. Just look at it. Appreciate it. I'm such a cool magician. I love fire and chaos and misdirection and all those cool tricks, and then I love the style and living in the glamour, living in the moment, the satisfaction of pulling it off. Such a cool magician. Also, it pushes enemies away a fair distance. It deals boatloads worth of damage. This ability is so nutty, and it's a jump, meaning that you will be having iframes for the entirety of its duration, being unable to be hit by any and everything at all. Also, I believe this can destroy projectiles, but I'm not too sure on that. Don't really care much, even though we have plenty of projectile destruction already. That's not exactly what we're going to be going for here for the most part. I don't really care much about that, personally. And then finally, we got our charged signature version, which is the whole reason this build exists as is today, because look at the character, and you will immediately know why I assembled this. Ta-da! Epic magic trick, isn't it fucking awesome? Just look at that, look at that. The riz, the style, the pizzazz, you know? It looks fantastic. And really, everything is coming together today to be yet again one of those stylish, flavorful, very fun to watch, very feel-good builds that don't exactly have a major purpose behind them, besides just being stuck to a theme and being fun. And that's what we're going to be doing today. That's also why I enabled the jazz music here, because I feel like this is not going to be the fastest of runs, but I want it to be a chill one, and a stylish one, and an enjoyable one at that. We don't exactly have any great combinations here. In fact, we really don't have anything that combines well into one another without relics. So with all that having been said, let's move on to the specifics. For the intended build playstyle, what are we gonna be doing? Let's see. Well, it's a little mix of defensive and offensive play, as per usual. I mean, that's the average build nowadays, right? So you want to be defensive when you can't be aggressive, and you want to be aggressive when there are openings, when enemies allow. Oh my god, stuttering. Whew, stuttering alert. They just shot their load. They used their ability, it flew everywhere except towards you, and now you are good to go to just dash in, Heroic Blaze them, and fucking obliterate them. There you go. That's all you gotta know. You want to play rather laid back for the most part, and then go in when there are openings. It's just one of those typical builds that are not excelling in either playstyle, whether it be defensive or offensive, so we just want to focus on what's best given a situation. In terms of potential problems, let me see. I can't really think of any, to be honest. You don't have the greatest damage potential right at the get-go, but that shouldn't be an issue. This is a rather mid-power level build. I'd say maybe a 6 or a 7 out of 10, which has a great potential to escalate. We already have 3 enhanced abilities, which deal okay damage, okay to great damage I'd even say, and can easily be enhanced and combined with a lot of different things, like projectile destruction synergies, for example, just to mention one. So I don't think we should worry about anything yet too much. We also have 2 Chaos Arcana, meaning that we shouldn't be worried about fighting Zeal or Freya with our fire abilities, because we have backup abilities. Sort of. Anyway. So, moving on to the next section. The final section here, in the explanation part of the video, recommended items and Arcana. There are plenty of things that go well with this build. For example, just a minor item here. The Magician's Wand, which increases your damage by 20% and combines to the Magician's outfit. You love that. You want to have that. Absolutely. Please give me that. You love any and all major damage increases, like Double Trouble, for example. You do love things that keep your signature charged and charging faster and faster, like a Volatile Gemstone, for example, like a Shark Mask. My god, that item is so broken with this build, making all of your charged signature crit, which is fantastic. That's just so much damage. Any base damage increase, any increased signature charge gain, or increased signature charge uses even, sometimes, depends on how much signature charge gain you can get a hold of, are fantastic through this build. We also love sprites, because they make us look just a lot more stylish, and like we've got backup tricks or fairies working with us or something, so they make us look very, very cool, and that's what we want. Stones, on the other hand, don't make us look too cool. They kind of look weird, I'd say, even, but they do work well with the build. So if we find a decent stone, we might even pick it up. Alright, they just work because, say, a Cobalt Fire Stone rotates around your character, it deals damage in a small AoE around your character. Guess what also does that? Heroic Blaze. You just run into an enemy, Heroic Blaze, and you get the damages from both the stone and the ability. Fantastic, love to see it. We also have a bunch of items that combine weirdly well with this build. For example, as aforementioned, Projectile Destruction, gain signature charge on Projectile Destruction from the Bladed Buckler, for example. It's kind of a very weird pick for a build like this, you would imagine, but it does work. It works reasonably well. And that's all we're really gonna be after. It's all about signature charge in this one, in my opinion. I wanna be able to cast this glorious, just beautiful looking ability for as often as humanly possible. That's my main goal here today, and that's all I really care for. Even if we lose this run because we pick up Double Trouble and we only have 300 HP, and you die like a motherfucker really, really quickly when doing so. I just want to be able to have fun today. I don't think this is a build that needs to win every time you play it. I think this is a build that you should play when you are down bad and you need some damn enjoyment in your life. I think this build is fantastic for that, and that's what I made it for, and that's what it's gonna be played for. So strap in and let's go. Let's start off this run with our sweet money, not skipping anything, moving on. Let's go. I don't even feel the need to name Arcana here. It's all just about whatever is fun to you, right? Of course, you could run jumps, you could run overpowered fireballs and claymores and whatnot, but at the end of the day, if you're not enjoying them, don't use them. Just go for something else. Okay, I should probably also mention that I have not yet played this in the Chaos Trials. Not all the way through anyway, and I am, unlike last week's build, I am quite unexperienced when playing this build. with playing this build generally. I haven't played a lot of this build. Most of what I play has been in multiplayer so far anyway. And we get the Bouncing Blades upgrade, which is sweet. So we can do stuff like this now. Woo. Let's go. Not sure whether or not I want to rush you today. If I see fit, I will. But starting out on just 300 HP, it's usually not the greatest of ideas to decide to rush a run early onwards. Why so, you might ask? Well, because if you do end up finding double trouble, you might just die in a handful of hits. It happens all the time. You run Venture Rope with a fairly low HP setup, you die. You just die quickly. You can't do much about it. If you play like an idiot even once, that might be it. You might just regret it. Regret, of course, being synonymous with, well, you die. You lost the run. Because you were too greedy, and you wanted more damage, and so on and so forth. Where are you going, you guys? Stop following me. I'd say we deal pretty okay damage here early on. It's nothing wild, nothing out of this world. But reasonable. Reasonable damage output is definitely a fitting descriptor. Come on. Okay. Moving on to the right-hand side here. Stinky. Come on, jump. Come on, jump. Oh, he crit for 100 freaking damage right away. I don't even have a double trouble yet. It's so astonishing how quickly you can perish in this game. But it's also not only a point of concern, it's also a point why this game is so fun at times. Because you can die very, very quickly. It could all be over in the blink of an eye. Are you still alive? No, you're not. Okay, we find marble, and this merchant's card is definitely a very nice damage up. Love to see that. Moving on, I don't intend to pick up the gauntlets here, as ever since that one boss rush I played on them, I have never played another run on them, so I have very much forgotten how to use them again. But I had quite a fun time with it. It's quite a neat item. Very, very strong if you know what you're doing, which I clearly don't. That's why I'm not picking it up. It would just be a waste. I would barely ever use them. I feel like they just require a lot of training, a lot of repetitive activities, and that's not exactly what we're doing here, right? We're just trying to play around and have some fun. I don't want to train right now. I am considering picking up that Airborne Slam. I think I will. It's a very strong Arcana. It's on discount too. We can end up upgrading that later, which is very likely that we will find the upgrade. It's the only unenhanced Arcana we are carrying. So again, that's always something that makes it very likely that Iris will be selling that Arcana, in fact, in the enhanced version. Oh, hello. This room is a nuisance. Okay. A second unenhanced Arcana. Oh wow, that was really slow. What was that? What just happened there? I didn't know thieves could do that. What just happened there? Why? How did he shoot a projectile? I didn't even see that coming. Was he like... Did he teleport behind me or something? Ooh. Graduation bouquet. Which is also, Great for applauding someone, just throwing that on the stage. So thematically, yeah, hell yeah, that's cool. Also a saber, very, very cool. Certain certain magicians perform saber tricks where they, you know, it's a box, someone goes into the box, they lock it, and they stab the box with a bunch of sabers, and then they open up and, oh wonder, wonder, the person is still alive and hasn't been stabbed on stage. So, saber, definitely on flavor too. Peter bracelet, also on flavor. Bracelets just look hella cool on magicians, I feel. And then the Sage's memoir, the mystic, that's the important part, Sage's memoir, obviously on flavor as well. So 3 fantastic picks. Even though I wouldn't exactly call the memoir fantastic by any stretch. Always be wary of these traps, as they have quite a fair range. I feel like I got pretty decent damage. Love the Vortex Veil, because it can destroy all projectiles that touch it, which is great. Love using that into Sura. Definitely a viable pickup. Gotta use that stun lock there from my standard in order to combo both of them with the Heroic Blaze, try and kill the Thief. Oh, that is very nice. Wondrous Mechanism is a very strong pickup. Token of Commerce. I'm not sure this is worth it. I believe it is. I believe it gives me, what, 150 or something? Not sure. I think, if I recall correctly, it's always worth it. So I might pick that up, just to get Kremaya out of the pool of NPCs early on. I'm not sure I want to do that though. I usually like finding Kremaya late into the run, and same with Dr. Song, I suppose. It's just a matter of, do you want a bit of a jump start in terms of currency carried, or would you like to get that, get a large amount of currency when the run is coming to a close? Both can be very beneficial. Strongly depends on your run, on the situation. If you have a supply crate, for example, you should probably wait until the end of the run and then just dump all your money into the supply crate and see what you get. If you don't have a supply crate, it's probably best to not try and do that. Instead, go for the Kremaya early on, or whenever you end up actually finding it. I like Royal Jelly. I don't think I'm going to be needing it, because I only have 300 HP. I like the Token of Health, but I could definitely get rid of one Arcana here. Both of these Arcana are fantastic. I love both of them. This one especially, Spiral Rumblers, is great into the Sura balls because it has a large coverage. And one of these just randomly killing one of those balls off, or 2 or 3 even at times, or maybe even more, who knows, is very likely during the Sura fight. And so they are just the greatest tool in the entirety of the game, in my opinion anyway, to get rid of those balls, where he just spreads them across the entirety of the arena, which is my least favorite attack. I hate that thing. It's just so annoying. Airborne is very good. It's a jump too, with great coverage, with iframes, great damage. So maybe I do want to buy the Token of Health. I might still want to buy the Token of Commerce first, though. I don't have any other items to get rid of, and I would actually benefit from having a bunch of shitty items early on with the Merchant's Cart, so I'm instead gonna decide to buy the Token of Health early on here to guarantee being able to receive those healing items. Graduation Bouquet is pretty good, usually. definitely works very well with the Merchant's card. I have a guarantee that Dr. Song is going to be the next stage, so this would be a viable pickup because then that means that, first of all, next stage is going to be Freya, right? The stage after that, 2-1 is going to be Dr. Song. 2-2 might be Kremlin. Doesn't necessarily have to be. And until then, I get plenty of stuff from the graduation bouquet, which I can then decide to either sell or keep for a slight damage increase using the Merchant's card. This is a very versatile pickup for sure, though it's not my favorite. My favorite would be the Saber, just increasing that damage output. Also, Pura is pretty okay. It's nothing wild. Probably gonna be picking up the graduation bouquet though now, before the mini boss fight, so I get 2 items right away because I don't have any great items in my shop left to invest money into. Neither do I have good Arcana in my Arcana shop. Crash Knight. Okay. Well, we didn't find any items. What a bummer. We can still go and look for a chest. If we do find a chest, the chest is gonna drop 2 as well. Essentially making up for what we just lost, but nope. No chests on this floor. No way to equalize fate here. At least we got some nice healing. Not that I really care about that at all. The boss here doesn't exactly deal a great amount of damage since I don't have double trouble yet. Even if I'm hit by the entire ultimate, I shouldn't die here. It shouldn't usually be dealing that much damage. Of course, that's not exactly a guarantee, but... Freeze. Just gonna use that dash there in order to give myself a little bit of spare room to move around. Usually quite a risky move, but this early on when the boss is so slow, it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. It's quite easy to pull off. I do, much to my dismay, my personal dismay, I do also like doing that on like stage 3 and later, so very, very bad decision making usually. But what is bad decision making? Deliberate bad decision making, if not a whole hell of a lot of fun. I do feel like my damage is kind of lackluster here. I do want slightly more signature charge because now I get increased signature damage from the Wonders mechanism, which is sweet. But it's kind of useless as is, as it's not a consistent damage increase. I just need that into bosses. It's fantastic. In order to make it decently strong of an item pick, we have to also find some way to generate more signature charge to be able to get that up more often and ditch out a lot more damage there. Seemed to work out. Is he dead though? Yes, he is indeed. Do this. Just delay our dash a little bit. I saw it coming, but I missed the dude, so he could still pull off his attack. Slightly annoying, but not a great loss or anything. It's just a quick ignition effect that we have to recover from. Okay, let me check something real quick. Okay, cool, moving on. Yay, dead ends. Don't you just love them? So, all the way towards the left now, huh? Spiral Rumblers is a great upgrade to be randomly receiving from the Magician's top hat. Always gotta make sure to bait the Stone Golem's attack to be towards the side that I'm not gonna be standing on, so I don't risk being hit. Always wanna dash towards a safe direction, so enemies that naturally try to run towards me and follow me will be stun locked by all the projectiles, which is great. Dashing into enemies, very, very bad. Very risky, don't do that. But dashing away from them like so, yeah. Also cancels the attack. Also destroys projectiles that they throw towards me. Just look at that. I don't need to use Heroic Blaze. Mostly. I shouldn't. I shouldn't try and force it. It's a melee ability with a rather short range. I have to get very, very close in order to use it. So don't force using it. Just use all the other tools that you got. We have a bunch of very nice picks here. So let's start on the very left here. Elemental Pointe is okay. The most we have is 2 per element. We have 2 wind, 2 fire, and 2 chaos. This is not amazing. It's good though. It's pretty good. Nothing wild by any means though. Puffy Parker, evade all critical hits. This is pretty damn strong if you already picked up something that makes you take a lot more damage, or when you have a lot less HP. It's definitely very, very good here. Yeah, I don't want to take 100 damage from one attack. Again, that was quite a terrible moment. Definitely can leave you just killed. Just killed, bleeding out on the ground. Cabbies, citrus, sweets. No, we don't care much about our basic for the most part here. Even though it'd be a fantastic item in this build because we just use our basic a lot naturally. It's a very strong basic and it's very strong with these enhancements. We don't want to invest money into doing so. That's just a waste of materials here. We might also easily find 1 or 2 candies. We already got a graduation bouquet, so that's quite likely to occur at some point. Insulated vest, very bad. No lightning attacks in sight except during the surf fight, and that lightning attack, usually the AoE attack, is just very underwhelming anyway, so don't care. And then finally the Amulet of Sundering for a, what is it, 5% damage increase on all sources. Very, very good. Very nice for the build too. I might want the Parka instead. It's also on sale. I would definitely be saving a bunch of gold buying that over the Amulet too. And it's a lot stronger, arguably, than the Amulet. Amulet is just a slight damage increase, and without a double trouble, that is actually just what you get. That is all. Nothing but a slight damage increase. But the Puffy Parka is so much more. Being able to out-sustain critical strikes and evade them altogether can be ridiculously strong. If, for example, you find the Clover, and enemies just permanently get a, what, like 15% higher crit chance on all their attacks towards you, they do crit a lot, and you evade all of those attacks. It's not that they simply hit you with a regular attack, or that they hit you with a crit but you take the regular attack damage. You don't take any damage. It's sweet. It's so good. It's so much evasion chance. But, unfortunately, we don't care much about getting a Clover, for example, so it's not a necessity to pick up, let's put it that way. I like Dr. Song. I'm gonna do it after doing the mini-boss, so I can net some extra healing from that. She does not have any items that reward you beating a mini-boss, for example, so yeah, there's no need to do that before the mini-boss here. I am really considering picking up that Parka. It's just so useful. But maybe for now, the Amulet is slightly stronger. I'm going to be fighting Rock as my final element. Atlas can deal large amounts of damage per hit. with the rock toss, for example. So this parka is it would be very, very useful. Also into Zeal, the signature is just such a nuisance to deal with, especially because we want to be in her melee range as well, so naturally we are pretty much guaranteed to be hit at some point, so I believe Parker is definitely the superior buy here. We might come back by the amulet, though I don't consider that to be a fantastic item with this build. It's just too expensive. That's really it. It's just too expensive. 150 for an effect that's rather weak. Oh, didn't mean to jump there. I meant to dash, but it's fine either way. Signature time. Let's see. We still do not receive an item. Wow. Thanks, gang. The bouquet being at its peak usefulness. And the health card too. That's very bad. Receive a discount whenever you purchase a healing part. Very, very terrible. We might still make something out of this run. We shall see how this goes. We are still relatively early into the run. It's not entirely too late, but it is definitely gonna be a bit of a challenge to swing this around. Always want to use the stun lock to auto attack enemies as much as possible. Our basic, after all, is quite a strong ability. Now that it's upgraded, it also rewards us with fantastic versatility. Group them up. Or just kill them. I guess that works too. Keep in mind, we want to be using our dash to destroy projectiles. And then be super risky here and commit to the attack because I want the summoner to die. Summoners are AIDS. Just such a nuisance to deal with. Okay, let's do it. Shit, we don't have anything to lose except a large amount of HP. Appreciate the chaos. I love it. Oh my god, again. What is going on here? What the actual fuck? Where are all my items? This has never happened in my life. Evasion. Love the parka. That would have been a crit. And a very nasty crit stun lock. Hey, supply crate when we can't really make any money. And all the other items are not the greatest either. Covert Ops is a decent synergy with the Puffy Parka if you already got something like, I don't know, for example, the Clover, I suppose. This is really sucky. Let's see if we can make something happen. It's still not over yet. We're getting damn close, and it's just a robe upgrade. Yikes. Venture robe upgrade is notoriously weak. I will spend the money though, because there's really nothing better in the shop. I could, of course, find a decent Iris upgrade. I think I want to full clear the floor at this point. I need more stuff to win easily. Let's put it that way. I can win. Of course I can still win. It's just a lot more difficult. I don't have a great HP pool, and I don't have great damage output either. So naturally, I'll be in grave danger into Sora. That's not a spot you typically want to find yourself in. Let's take a look at Iris. Okay, not even an Iris upgrade in stock. Lovely. Lovely, dude. Big time, yikes. Moving on. To the Zeal fight. As if life were not already hard enough. Evasion is just so useful. Love the Parker. Holy crap, I would have taken a boatload of damage there. Okay, I do like the upgraded Arcana. Spider Rumblers are very strong, but upgrading my Arcana generally is a little more useful, I'd say. I do really want to keep the Airborne. Oh well, bye-bye, Rumblers. It was nice, we had a good time together. Rumbles are just so useful in so many situations, but they gotta go, because we might get a potentially much larger damage increase. Wow. Oh, double toil, that's not very useful. A potentially larger damage increase from finding a luxury handbag, for example. Oh my god, they delayed it. No, my jump got cancelled because of the poison. What a bummer. Okay. Totally mistimed my heroic base there. Come here, big boy. I need money and item drops. Please. Please. I need some items in my life right now. What a run. No money, no items, no bitches. Definitely do not want that double toil. It's just so terrible. It would be devastating in this position. I would essentially be receiving double damage for nothing. No advantage, no gain. Very dangerous. Don't want to do that. Even a double trouble at this point would be very dangerous because I still don't have great base damage, so what's he gonna double? Not a lot. Not a lot by any stretch. Just gotta work with my basic here. Oops, that went nowhere. Come on, climb up. Neat thing about Heroic Blaze is that it kills multiple waves of slimes, which is nice. Love to see it. Just gonna stun lock them with a quick combo into Heroic Blaze, and our items are very lackluster today, huh? Jewelry box probably being the best item in here. Antiquated Tabi, I don't know, man. Slightly more evasion. Ay, dude. We might just go for the Sprite out of sheer desperation to receive some damage increases. Though the Sprite doesn't affect Sora all that much because he's immune to all status effects. It will still deal a slight amount of damage. And then even these items are freaking terrible. Very, very bad. We could grab a lot of evasion with the Gladius and essentially entirely get rid of all of our crit chance. Jeremiah's Needle, no, 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 no. These items, man. I still would very much love to find a chest. I think I'll take the Sprite. It looks nice. It at least looks nice. It feels good to have. Might not be... Ow, I'm stuck. It might not be super impactful, but... nothing we really have is super impactful. So... yeah. What difference is it gonna make? Well, it's gonna be slightly more fun. And... it's definitely enough for me to pick it up. Would you die, boy? It's time to let go. Okay. We could still make something happen here. It's not all over. But we are definitely getting there. Airborne Slam upgrade. That's a decent buy. I could go ahead and pick that. I'll wait on the Gladius. It's a little early to be committing to halving my crit chance. Because then I would lose out on a lot of damage. A lot of damage potential. Not a favorable play before boss. That was the wrong bar. I meant to use the Airborne Slam. That was the right one. This time, anyway. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, still nothing. Isn't life great with a graduation bouquet? I'll get the Gladius. At least I can try and stay alive a little bit. I could also grab the Gem Finder, though that's not a great pick. Airborne Slam might be slightly better, because then I can at least deal more damage using my Arcana. Boy, this is such a poor run so far, but it's still fun. Still having a good time. Knight is dead? No, he's alive. I was waiting for him to come back so I could hit both of them. But apparently he took his sweet time. Ooh, that looked fucking sweet. Freaking sweet. Is that a Family Guy reference? I believe so. Okay. Hello, Iris. Of course, you got nothing for me in stock. Not quite nothing, but I don't have the money to spend any money on Arcana instead of precious relics. Can we please drop some items for once? It is surely bad when not even the obstacles drop stuff anymore. Gonna dash into the corner there to stop myself. So when you actually do that, knee trick is the ability has quite a width. So it will keep going, but you will stop. So you won't find yourself stuck inside of some enemy who will then go ahead and stun lock you. It's a knee trick I perform from time to time. It's more of a subconscious thing than a conscious decision, usually. Evasion, hell yeah. I wish it were not necessary, but ugh. I can't leave any room for the enemies to actually hit me, because then I might just die. It's kind of a fun playstyle, to be honest, but also very nerve-wracking. I can just stay in the corridor and keep spamming my basic. It's just such a menace. It has quite a large girth. Not the greatest though, so enemies can slip by. But you can catch most enemies using that strategy. Oh no. Gonna be using the extended bouncing blaze there. Sorry, not bouncing blaze, so rolling blaze. Oh boy, what a rough run. There's still 2 rooms on the map, 2 merchants I see. How do I get up there? No, not right now, I suppose. Okay. Hello. Oh, cool. Linux system updates. That's annoying. I hate when that happens. I'm always in D&D mode, and yet still my system notifications somehow manage to slip through the system. Very annoying. Very, very annoying when that happens. Claws of Terminus, I'm a crit chance, don't think I won that. Boots of Frenzy, it's a little late for you guys. You definitely would have been very fun to find early on. Very, very nice item. I believe I mentioned this in the intro. Having a lot of extra dashes on this dash, fantastic. Just so much chaos, damage, and projectile destruction coverage is awesome. Mercury's is not the greatest investment, though I might have to come back and buy that. Again, yet another desperation buy, because we need to make purchases. If we don't, we will end up not having a lot of damage at all. Okay, here we go. Something a lot better. We find a glass cannon and a Paranomassacon. Also, a lot of splendor, which could have saved our bum. Because then we could just buy all the stuff we always wanted to. But I think that's a lot unsafer, a lot more gambling heavy than just straight up picking up a damage increase. I believe glass cannon is a little risky. I don't have great defense. In fact, I have no defense at all. I have an occasional evasion from these two, which is... oh man, oh boy. It's more than unreliable. It's very risky to rely on. Don't do it. If you do rely on that, you might find yourself playing a lot worse. So let's not do that. Instead, Paranomassacon seems like a decent pick. Have we beaten the mini-boss yet? No, we have not. In that case, I will be picking up the Para later. I will come back for it. Why? Because it makes me take... Sorry. Again, I'm mixing up less and more today. What's going on? It makes me take a lot more damage, not less damage. That'd be awesome. Okay. Oh my god, we find a volatile gemstone for the perfect time crystal and a special snowflake. I would have loved this so much. This is one of my absolute top 3 favorite items in this game. But we found it way too late. It still works into bosses though. Not well by any means, but it does still work, technically. Oh boy. Okay, let's take Para. And we are almost full on items. Hell yeah. Okay, and I think I'd like a healing pot. Maybe not now. I like the takeout box. Actually, the healthcare cart does come in handy now because of the graduation bouquet. We have barely any money, and with this combination, we will sort of be able to have enough money. I really like takeout box because then I can try to be a lot tankier into the boss fight. Now, I am missing a bit of money to be able to purchase a healing pot here, but luckily we have a room left that we didn't pay much attention to. And we are still clutching for money. Hello. Play friend. How you doing? Still one more. Come on, we should be able to find one more here. 100% exploration rate though, so probably not. Oh god. One of these days, huh? I think we will be fine either way, so let's just move on. I don't think this is a necessity. Should be able to beat Atlas. Somewhat fine. Let's see though, let's not be super greedy. Or try to, anyway. And let's greet, right away. Stay very far away. Oh yeah, greed is good. Greed is good, ladies and gentlemen. Love to see it. It's always fun to play that way. I should be able to achieve a pretty much full takeout box here, with all the healing provided after beating these rooms. Assuming I'm not taking much damage while doing these rooms. Yep, had to do that there. Why so? Because Special Snowflake would freeze the big guy, and when you unfreeze the big guy, he immediately strikes without any fair chance to react. Oh my god, the signature gain is out of this world. I love Snowflake with this so much. I'm so glad I actually get to see it. I don't care if it's way too late for it. It's never too late for a Snowflake. Such a fun ability. Look at that! Look at the explosions everywhere. Isn't that just the coolest thing ever? Be honest. Dude, the signature charge rate is so good. Just a perfect time crystal and that shite is enough. Alright, cool. Whimsical Explodium as well. Hello, how you doing? Usually I have to pick between either of you. I strongly favor Special Snowflake over Explodium, but both of them are awesome items. Absolute favorites of mine. Let's grab the healing pot. Yeah, we can't afford anything out of this pool anyway, so let's grab the healing pot. Let's grab these. And then, let's try and beat his ass, shall we? Can't believe we still got here. Looked so often like this run would just go nowhere. Now, what the takeout box allows for us to do here is be incredibly aggressive in phase 2, because shield health is not affected by being staggered. So when he hits us, we can just keep going. We won't be staggered, we won't be stunned, we won't be interrupted. Though this lasts for a very brief period of time, since the shield is quite tiny. Is it, what, like 100 HP? I don't even know. It's not a lot though, so let's try to not waste it, shall we? No! I'm barely out of range. Gonna be very cocky here. Again, barely out of range, but that's okay. Very cocky. Oh, takeout box is so damn good with this. Okay, we did not find the magician's outfit. A lot of things went bad and wrong and just But we, at the end of the day, at least came here in order to beat Sura's ass with only a handful of items. Admittedly, but very, very strong items in combination. Not the greatest of runs, by any means, let's be fair. But, well, the game dealt us some very, very, very bad cards, thanks to the graduation bouquet. Without it, I might have at least found one occasional item, but no. Game said, you're being greedy. Here, have a bunch of health orbs, and that's all you get. But at the end of the day, with just the power of knowledge and a lot of luck getting that perfect time crystal, thank God for that, by the way. This was very, very helpful in beating his ass the most stylish way possible. We could beat his ass. We could come to a conclusion and win this run. Bring it home. All the way. Gladius in combination with the Puffy Parker. Mwah. At the end of the day, this was quite helpful. It did feel, however, like the enemies crit a lot more than they should have. Don't know what was going on there. It felt like I was playing with a clover the entire time. Like, how? How do they crit that often? They barely connected any hits with me. And pretty much all hits they did connect were crits. That's just ridiculous. But, either way, we did it. It was great. It was fun. It was a blast. If you try this build out at home, I really hope for you, I'm praying for you, to find that Magician's Wand. It happens very rarely in the Chaos Trials because, well, at least recently I've only been seeing Nox once roundabout per cycle, so per entire 3 stages to Sura cycle, which is just kind of annoying because then if I have a build that is made around finding a certain cursed item, I can't exactly rely on that. It kind of sucks for you guys, I suppose, but beside a stylish change, that wouldn't have done a lot to this build anyway. It's just a very good damage increase and a very stylish looking outfit. It's kind of saddening we didn't find it, but it's okay. It's fine. This build works even without it, and it works very well, as you could tell. We found some neat Arcana. The Airborne Slam was a very petite purchase here earlier on. Very good decision for my part, in my opinion. It's always worthwhile. It's such a strong Arcana. It scales very well. When you upgrade it, it's fantastic. You can still trade it later on. It's just so versatile, so strong. Also, obviously works very well into Atlas and into Sura too. Has a great coverage. Can kill Sura boss as well very easily, or just push enemies around. Very, very good purchase in addition to our main build. And then we had Furious Tempest, also fairly strong. Mostly because you can charge it, shoot it from afar, charge it at the beginning of a boss fight, and then unleash on the boss for good extra damage. Also very great for chugging this at small groups of enemies that are rather close to one another to stunlock them, so you can dash in, follow up with a heroic place, for example, or so they can't, while you're already close to them, cancel you while you're using heroic place. We get cancelled a few times over the course of the run, which is something that rarely ever happens when I play this build, and that should be a testament to how relatively to other runs underpowered this run was. However, I still had a blast playing this, and I hope you did too, watching this video and maybe trying this build out for yourself. We shall see. Thank you very much for watching, and as per usual, I wish you all a good morning, a good day, and a good night, wherever you are. And until next time, bye-bye.